anyway, I just wanted to like share my thoughts and just pass some things along as I see them because I realize that there is a lot of anxiety and concern for, what's happening and what's unfolding as a result of the Trump administration, and all of the laws and changes and things are happening like rapid fire. So now again, um this is not me taking sides, okay, at all, for politics and things like that. I just don't believe in it. In my to me, red, blue, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't really matter. They're both two sides of the same coin. So I don't go there. They're all controlled by the puppet master at the top of the pyramid or the food chain. And I just can't get into splitting hairs. Okay. So, um, a lot of people do want to put blame on Trump, and even and they totally ignore how jacked up everything was when Biden was in office too. So I'm like, can't beat a pot calling the kettle black. I'm sorry. You just can't. So with that said, let's talk about this. I want to share something with you all. Now, I want to pause this here. I'm actually, it's about 5 minutes into the video, and what I'm going to do, I encourage you all, I'm going to put this link in the description so that you can continue watching this. I'm not going to kind of hold everybody up here, but I just wanted to do an intro. But this is a good segue right here into I think Dana mentioned that the women, that sector, right? The government sector, and let me stop sharing. The government sector employed a lot of women of color and Black women. And there's something else, and I'm probably gonna this is probably gonna sting a little bit. I'm gonna step on some toes, but you know what? I gotta tell the truth. Like, I have to be real. A lot of the government jobs out here, the standards, they're really substandard versus what we see in the private sector, right? There's government I've gotten horrible, the service I've gotten from public sector entities is and agencies is just, I can't even describe it. They don't care. They talk to you half the time. They don't even want to greet you and say hello. And these are the facts. You all have experienced it. Don't act like it's just me. The service is very subpar, and we've all experienced it. They don't want to do their job. A lot of them, unfortunately, are not as skilled as they need to be to solve. If something goes wrong and you need them to solve a problem, they can't do it. Level ones cannot do it. Everything has to be escalated to a manager or a supervisor. And that to me is unacceptable. And it definitely is a testament of where we are as a society here in this country. Service is absolutely terrible. It's trash. Because we all know it and we all see it. And now that these women are being laid off, or their jobs have been eliminated, or they've been, sized, now that this has happened, they don't really possess the skill set to go into the private sector. Private sector standards are no joke. You have to demonstrate a lot of skills. They have higher standards. And those are the facts. Get mad at me all you want. Don't come for me. So anyway, I don't want to hang on to that for long. Like I said, I just want to reiterate the rapid rate of job loss and, volatility that we're seeing is in direct correlation to, all the changes and laws being implemented. So anyway, like I said, if you haven't yet, let me just make this point. If you haven't yet, you have to seek out a means for sustaining yourself and your family. Because it's been said It's been said many ways by lots of people, a nation can rise no higher than its woman. And with that said, you have to take inventory of your mental stock. What skills, what talents do you possess? You know, how you were raised, what philosophies were pressed upon you, either by, you know, be it religion, society, your community. So we got to think about these things because, and there's, by the way, there's one myth that I just want to bust all the way up and bulldoze, and that's codependency. When you're relying on your partner, your spouse, relatives to take care of you, or even expecting them to understand your plight and your position, that's not empowering. It's not empowering at all. And actually, it leads to depression. And I can speak firsthand on that. So, and by the way, I had a great conversation with a new member of our community the other day. And I think we talked for about an hour. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if, you know, she wants me to mention her name or not. But we basically like touched on the fact that most family and friends don't really understand the extent of what we go through as caregivers of special needs kids, especially with autism or on the spectrum. This is why you must position yourself financially to take care of your needs and your child's needs or your children's needs without over reliance on them. So, in fact, I really don't expect my family outside of, you know, my immediate family. I really don't expect them to understand what's going on. So, my solution when things are changing and shifting, we got to learn to pivot, right? We just got to learn to pivot. So my solution is hiring like a reliable caregiver and a nanny with a set schedule, right? You know, or who will be available on a moment's notice for those things that you got to kind of do at the spur of the moment, or, you know, you plan ahead, you want to do some things and you need that time for yourself. So government is not really going to pay for that. And, you know, and I know some of you are already going to be like, no, there's respite care. That's true, right? But with respite care, you have 1,000,001 hoops to jump through. I mean, 1,000,000, probably 10 million. Okay. And what they pay their providers is trash. And when you compensate your providers, when you don't give them anything for what they have to deal with you know, these folks and these kids with these special needs, you can't pay them $10 an hour, $11 an hour. Like that is insane. It's hard to find people that you really trust and that understand this subset of our population. Again, the paperwork, all of the, you know, it's nerve-wracking, y'all. It's nerve-wracking. So that's what happens when you are dependent on other people or completely dependent on other services. It's a beautiful thing when you can just send a wire and pay somebody because that money is in your account and you don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get the service that you want, the quality service that you want from a quality provider when you need it. So that's what financial independence will do. And for those of you that have not checked out my digital pivot, I want to point you to that right now. I don't know. I think I might post this video on YouTube. And if you are watching this from YouTube, then yes, you can go to elearnpaysdaily.com. Elearnpaysdaily.com. That's ELEARNPAYSDAILY.com. For those of you that are in my community, now I will say I expound on a lot of topics. It would be beneficial for you to join our community because in our community, by the way, I focus mainly on women. You don't have to have a child with special needs, but that is my focus. I want us to learn to take care of ourselves and learn to just be more self-sustainable and be self-sufficient. I've always said, you know, self-sufficiency is the new flex. It is a must right now. Because trying to even grab for the little bit of crumbs that the government has available is crazy. And good luck getting through to somebody when you're on the phone calling in. You got to wait like 2 hours before you can speak to anybody. Why put yourself through that? I know the money's there, and most people are like, I want to get what I'm going to get mine. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm not mad at that. You know, I do that as well. You know, my son is on disability due to his condition, but it's a pain to deal with. So the real freedom comes in caregiving, right? Having someone available to give you that reprieve so you can take care of yourself, right? So anyway, for those of you that have not joined the community yet, you can go to thriveresourcenetwork.com and go ahead and click the join button. It is a free community. I go in depth on a lot of things and topics that YouTube probably would ban. So, but I give you the real deal and the truth. So, yeah, come on in and check us out. All right, y'all. I bid you a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.